the silent requiem. It sounds dramatic, right? But today, we're going to talk about a revolution that's unfolding right now. In your headphones, on your speakers, it's a story about music, sure, but it's also about technology and a future that might be a little quieter for human artists.
Printing music out of thin air. I mean, wow. That quote really hits you, doesn't it? It's a bit alarming for sure, but it perfectly captures the core idea we're digging into today. Think about it. When you can make an endless supply of something, anything, its value just plummets. And that's exactly what a new kind of technology is threatening to do to music.
All right, so let's start with this idea of music from thin air. How on earth is it possible? How can a machine just create a song out of nothing?
And look, I really want to stress this point. This is not some sci-fi movie concept we're talking about. It's not happening someday. This is a massive fundamental shift in how music gets made, and it's happening as we speak. Honestly, at a speed that's kind of hard to even wrap your head around.
So, what's the magic behind all this? It's called generative AI music. And the truly mind-blowing thing is how simple it is on your end versus how complex the result is. You can literally just type a few words, I don't know, something like a soulful blues track about rain in New Orleans, and boom, out comes a fully produced song. We're talking instruments, arrangement, everything, even vocals that sound scarily human.
And again, this isn't some niche thing hidden away in a research lab. You've probably heard of these platforms. Udio, Suno, they're the big players right now. And they're putting this incredible power into the hands of, well, everyone. If you have an internet connection, you can basically become a music producer. Just like that. Instantly.
Okay, so this brings us to what's really happening here, the AI audio revolution. Because let's be clear, this isn't just a new plugin for artists to use. No way. This is a whole new way of doing things, a paradigm shift that's shaking up centuries of tradition in how we make art, and honestly, how we even think about it.
And this chart, it just lays it all out so clearly. On one side, you've got a human composer. Think about that. Years of training, pouring their heart and soul and life experience into their craft. Their input is everything. On the other side, the AI. Its input, a line of text. The process for a human takes days, weeks, months, sometimes years. The AI, it spits out a finished song in seconds. The difference in scale, the sheer efficiency is it's staggering.
So you have to ask, right? Where does all this creativity actually come from? Is the AI really creating anything new? Or is it just a parrot, an incredibly advanced one, but a parrot nonetheless? To figure that out, we've got to look under the hood. And, well, what we find is pretty complicated.
And this is where the story takes a really sharp turn, an ethical nightmare. Because the answer to that question, where does the AI's creativity come from? Well, that's when this whole music from thin air thing starts to feel less like magic and a lot more like a crime.
So here's how it works, and this is really the crucial part. First, they scrape the internet. That's a nice way of saying they download everything. Huge libraries of existing music, most of it copyrighted, and almost all of it without asking permission. Then they train the AI on that data. The AI isn't just listening, it's tearing the music apart, analyzing every pattern, every chord, every single hook, even the little quaver of emotion in a singer's voice. And after all that, it generates a so-called new song. But here's the kicker. Every single note is just a statistical echo of all the human art it was fed. So that leads to the massive questions at the heart of all this. Is that legal? Is it ethical? Can you really just take the entire sum of human musical creation without permission, feed it into a machine that's designed to make those very creators obsolete, and then pat yourself on the back and call it innovation? Artists and record labels are, unsurprisingly, starting to say no way, and you can bet the legal fights are just getting started.
Remember that quote from the beginning about what central banks did to fiat currency? Well, now it makes perfect, chilling sense. You take all the music that's ever been made, you use it to create a machine that can make an infinite supply of new music, and suddenly the market is flooded. That thing that used to be so rare and valuable, a real song crafted from real human experience, is now everywhere. And when something is everywhere, it's kind of worthless.
So where does this leave us? What is the future of art in a world like this? And I'm not just talking about musicians anymore. This is about anyone who loves art, who finds meaning in it. Infinity. I mean, that symbol really says it all, doesn't it? We are walking into an age of infinite content, an endless river of music, perfectly customized for you, available whenever you want it for basically nothing. On the surface, that sounds incredible.
like a utopia, right? But that utopia might come with a very, very high price.
And that's really the big question we have to grapple with. If music is infinite and it's free to make, why would a human bother? Why would you spend 10 years learning the guitar? Why would you pour your soul and your heartbreak into writing a song when an algorithm can just whip up something that's good enough in a split second? What's the point of creating when you're up against infinity?
And that's the silent requiem. The moment when the stream of AI music becomes an endless flood. But the human artists? They've all gone quiet. We are all here for the opening notes of this thing. It's happening right now.